pleasure. What is the Alexander technique about? It is my belief that it's the ultimate life skill. I'm delighted to share some of my knowledge with you this evening. I believe it's a skill everyone should know. I haven't always been a teacher of the Alexander technique. I'm a qualified radiographer and a sonographer. It was whilst working down the road at St. Peter's Hospital in Chertsey that I developed a repetitive strain injury to my shoulder. It cut short my promising, rewarding medical professional career. I was devastated about it at the time. I felt it was actually unfair that my physical body was stopping me from pursuing this career that I trained long and hard to do and that I loved. I went along for my first Alexander lesson, not knowing much about it. I knew it concerned your posture. I didn't know anything much else other than that, and I think I just hoped that it might lessen my pain somewhat. That's all I was hoping for. I came out of my first Alexander technique lesson 40 minutes later, bewildered, astonished, pain-free, which was astonishing in itself, and I knew right there and then that this was what I was meant to be doing with my life. A total epiphany, it really was. So it's my mission to bring the work of Frederick Matthias Alexander to everyone. I would like to prevent his work from continuing to be the well-kept secret it has enjoyed for the last 100 years. 3 months after my first Alexander technique lesson, I found myself on a teacher training course because I wanted to learn how to teach this amazing work to others. So we're going to learn this evening how to prevent some unhelpful habits from interfering with our natural functioning. The title of this TEDx event this evening is so pertinent, Facing the Future. The future, as we've heard, is unknown and uncertain and brings with it inevitable change. Those 3 facts bring out in many of us our fears and anxieties. How we respond to a situation under conditions of fear is sometimes less than helpful. So what happens to us when we are experiencing fear, stress, and anxiety? This is what happens, okay? We shorten in stature, we narrow in size, we pull our heads back and down, we compress ourselves. Why, you might be wondering? It's the survival mechanism kicking in, the fight or flight response. It's our evolutionary gift, and perfect if we were in a truly life-threatening situation. But really, for most of us today, our modern lives rarely present us with an issue of survival. So we are maintaining an unhelpful habit in itself. Our response to stress, to compress ourselves, is actually inappropriate for the majority of our circumstances. And it's the Alexander technique that enables us to choose a different response. It makes conscious how we're using our body, and it allows us to be more appropriate in our response to our circumstances. Enough talking. I'd like to show you how we can begin to apply this work this evening. So I invite you to stand, please. Thank you. I just want you to notice, without changing anything, where your body weight is distributing itself right now on your feet. Just take a moment to notice what your habit is. We usually have a favorite foot. Can you identify which one of your feet is your favorite? And now I'd like you to allow the body to restore itself to balance. Nature would prefer us to be in balance. She would prefer that we are sharing our body weight evenly between both feet. So just allow your body to reorganize itself now, such that your body weight is distributing itself evenly on both feet. And it's a more natural stance. It's economical with effort, efficient with your energy. And this is being grounded. In an ideal world, each foot would also be contacting the ground across these 3 points: the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the heel. Just check what's happening with you right now. Just see and identify your own habit. We usually prefer 1 or 2 of those points. Rarely when we begin this work do I find people standing in perfect natural balance, sharing their body weight evenly across these 3 points. I like to think of the feet as a 3-pin plug. Really plug into the ground and let it truly support you fully. When we allow this to happen, we allow our postural reflexes to work for us. That's intelligence, you know. You may have shifted on your ankles during this process. Do not be alarmed. You want your ankles to be free of tension and available to you for movement. We are just starting to identify the 3 natural hinges in our legs, the ankles being one of them. Think up off your ankles now that your feet are a secure platform. Continue thinking up your lower leg, including the outer edge of the calf. Think up to the knee joint. Allow this knee joint to bend from the back through to the front. Let your kneecap fall out from your hip. Think up off your knee joint. Continue thinking up your thighs, up to your hip. Where are the hip joints? Could you put your hands on the crest of your pelvis, please? Feel that bony protrusion on the front aspect of your pelvis. And we all know where our own pubic bone is. A third of the way along, between the bony protrusion and the pubic bone, almost in the knicker line, is the hip joint. Yes, that low down. It's a revelation to many people. So you have just now reacquainted yourself with your 3 natural hinges. Keep those available to you for movement at all times, to move freely and fluidly. Allow your legs to release themselves from the pelvis. Ask your muscles around the head of femur to lengthen and release your leg away from your pelvis. Keep your hands on your pelvis if you don't mind. And I'd like you to allow your pelvis to be heavy. Let it hang from your head like an anchor. It lends due weight and structure to the lower end of your torso and your spine. Let the base of your spine direct itself to the ground below you. Where is that, you might well ask? Okay. Feel the bony protrusion on the outer edge of your thigh. This is at the level of the base of your spine, that low down. Get a sense of your head lengthening up your whole spine, including its curves. Where is the top of the spine? Being careful of your neighbours. Put your fingers in your ears. If you can't hear me, put them just in front of the ears. Okay. This is the top of the spine, all the way up here. This is the second revelation to many people. Between the ears, behind the eyes. Yes, that high up. So this is the length of the whole spine, from there to there. Get a sense of your head lengthening up, away from your spine. Now this joint is the most important joint in us all, the atlanto-occipital joint. I can't address it this evening. It's Alexander's unique discovery and determines how well we are coordinated in movement. Let's recap. Plug in your feet. Think up off your ankles, up your calves, to your knees. Think up off your knees, up off your hips. And you're going to send your head away from the top of your spine. Send your knees forwards and your hips back and fold to sitting. You'll need your hand to pull down your seat. Okay? Connect your seat bones to the seat. Just notice what your preference is. You'll probably have a favorite seat bone as well. Just now, let your body reorganize itself back into balance. Get a sense of your head lengthening up, your whole spine again, and breathe. You have just experienced a very short taster of the Alexander technique. You have directed your own body using your own mind just now. If wellness is a personal goal and you're interested in your own health and well-being, I encourage you to explore this work further. An amazing self-journey of discovery awaits. Suitable for everyone, however age, however old. You don't have to be fit. Wherever you're at, you can move freely with grace and ease. Face your future, grounded, strong, free of tension. You now have the tools to use. Thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry I ran over time. Very much.